have a project. I'm a project file. I'm an automotive auto German. So I've basically what I did is I have a Jupyter notebook open in my PyCharm. So I created a Jupyter notebook. I already have it open because it takes a little to get it started, the server started. But basically, I have here my integrated development environment, which is just kind of a way to easier way to run software to do software development. And I have the data set for the got that in the wrong folder. But this is the raw data basically from Kaggle, just comma separated values, and I can just copy that file. Oh, what the? My bad. Copy file path. Alright, now here I am in this notebook right here. I have running a, alright, and pandas as PD. Alright, so now I have set my Jupyter notebook, I have my data. I can start doing some exploratory data analysis, just a general sense of what's going on. I create a file called, it's actually a data frame, df underscore autos. I'm going to use PD to use there we go, read a CSV file, and I'm going to paste my path name for, absolute path name for the, alrighty, and let's take a look what this will give us. Alrighty, so as you can see, it gives us some basic information. We have 46,405 rows, so that's how many data entries or cars we have. There's 9 columns, so 9 variables to look at. We have mileage, the make of the car, the model of the make, the type of fuel it uses, gas, electric. You can all take a look at deeper at all of these categories as you move through, but we have here the type of transmission. It's manual or automatic, whether it's used, pre-registered, the price we have in euros, and then horsepower of the car and the year it was registered. As you can see, this seems the only this data is ordered by the registration year. So another way to do this is to either go look at the head, gives you the top 10, top 5. I could rerun this by putting in 10, so that show you the top 10. This is just the top 10 entries. This is not ordered in any other way, since it's just a year, and so it's not really that interesting. But let's do 10. Again, the tail, just so we're looking at what the tail end of the data frame is, and so we can see we have a bunch of Fiats and Skoda. So again, not particularly interesting. Maybe we could try to take a look at what the summary statistics. Actually, let's take a look at the data types that we have. So right now it'll show you basically goes through and it'll show you what kind of data we have, like the count, non-null. So what that will mean is, since we have, let's take a look at what was the original. Actually, I could just insert above this. I could just do a shape, and this is going to tell me the rows versus columns. So 9 columns and 46405 rows. When you go down to the info column or info data frame info, you can see that there's some that are 46405, but some are not, and that's because there will be some empty values. So then the question will be, what do we do with those empty values? And that's something we'll have to confront, which, because this is a relatively simple data set, it's not as big of an issue, but it's still something we have to deal with when we try to do get the data clean for analysis. And then we have the data type, which is how it's entered. So as you can see, we have the mileages are integers. Then if it's not, if the program doesn't really, if it can't recognize what it is, then it'll be just an object. So these are all, they're all strings. They're called strings, but they may not recognize it. For example, 500, that's a number, but obviously Panda or Fabia or C1, those are not numbers, those are strings. So that's how the data type will be categorized here in the info section. And then we have the horsepower as a float. That just means it's a dot zero something or dot something. So it can handle, it's a non-round number, I guess, with digits after the decimal point. So why don't we take a look at some summary statistics? And because these are not all integers or then right, so it's only going to return those 4 columns that have numbers or can be looked at in terms of numbers, but it's kind of ugly right there. So I'm just going to round them to whole numbers. So I could do like 1 or 2, but I'll just do 1. Let's do 1 after the decimal point, and so now we have, this is a little cleaner, and we see that again, not all of these are exactly because are going to be the full count, because for example horsepower, there's missing entries, so it's not going to count those. But just looking at the average mileage, the price, that's probably the most interesting one. The price column is the one we're going to look at the most because it'll give us the most interesting stuff. The year, I mean, let me just all right, so right here I sort of sorted it or grouped it together with years, and I just wanted to show how many entries we have based on the registration year. And so it's 41 or 4200. So basically it's evenly distributed per year from 2011 to 2021. So that's really not going to tell us much. I mean, I could say I just copy it. I'm trying to see if that's the right way. Yeah, that's right. That was probably a bad idea. Anyways, yeah, so if we just go back to the summary statistics, the one that I'm probably more interested in the most will be price, and we'll do describe. All right, let me round this so that it's not as ugly. And so yeah, so we have 46405. We have minimum. The range is from 1100 to about 120 Oh, actually, that's 1,200,000. That's a pretty big value. So uh, that's a lot. And so basically we have the distribution is interquartile range will show you is 74.90. So 7,400, basically 7,500 euros to about 20 or 19.5 thousand euros. So basically from 7,500 to 19,500, that's where the middle 50% range will be, interquartile range. So we could take a look at why that is. Df. All right, let me just take a pause here.